Okay, now what I have understood, I will say it again so that it will help me in my future. So then, I have learned about networking basics. In networking basics, I have learned that device identifier IP address. IP address are like numbers 2030.113.10. In every website we visit, we are actually visiting these IP addresses of the servers they are providing to get the information from them. But we normally do not type these numbers and we cannot remember all this. So, what we are using is a name like adityapatra.com or trivago.com, like this. So how this we are typing this and it is actually doing this. So this is the work of DNS just transfers like this to this and this to this. We do not have to, it works like call log. If we want to call somebody, we do not have to, every time we do not have to just write their phone numbers and call them. We can just, from call log, we can just find their numbers using the name we have written to save him. Like if I want to call my mom, I can just write mom and call my mother. But so that I don't have to remember the whole phone number. DNS just work like that. The DNS full form is domain name system and connects domain name to IP conversion. As I have said, examples we can just call to this. I have given the example. Then previously, normally what happened was I have a server connected to an IP which is public IP. This is 21336 and etc etc. And we, in that single server, we are having web application like our homepage of website and SQL database in where we store all of our clients informations and everything, and payments gateways, I mean all the payment details, whether they have purchased a subscription and all that thing is stored. And we are storing it in one server, but it is very complex and it includes very big risks and it is not protected or secure. And how are this done is, in normally web application run on port 80 or port 446. How port actually looks like? Port is this semicolon, is colon, means this is our IP colon 80 months, means in this IP port number 80, in this IP port number 443, in this IP port number 3306. So normally web application are run in 80 and 443. SQL or databases are run in 3306 and payments are run in 1990. So this is port and IP. So to handle this risk, we try to divide it into subnets. Subnet mean we are having different IPs for different types of things. We are subnet 1, subnet 2 and subnet 3. There may be many subnets, but for now we are subnet 1, means this IP we are providing it to internet. And if something we want, the subnet 1 can talk to subnet 2, and subnet 2 something subnet 3, or subnet 1 can directly talk to subnet 3. Subnets can talk to each other, but if we do not want to expose our MySQL and payment server, we do not have to. That's how it works at first. Then the routing helps the talk between the subnets, subnet 1, subnet 2 and subnet 3. If three of the subnet wants to talk to each other, this is a router routes one server to other. If server this wants to talk to this one, then this will send request to this. In the routing, it has a route table. In the table mentioned that if subnet 3 has this private IP, subnet 2 has this private IP, subnet 3 has this private IP. If this subnet wants talks to subnet 3, then it will check what is the IP of this subnet 3 and it will route and it will find the path to the subnet 3. It is just a pathfinder which works like a GPS. We cannot call it a GPS, but it works like it. Then the concept of firewall. Why do we need firewall and what are firewalls? Firewalls are of two types: host firewall and network firewall. Network firewall sit between networks to block or sort the traffics, so that and yes, I forgot to mention that the subnet are created to handle traffics also, because one server was handling too much traffic. And suppose for traffic came for only for payment, but it is coming to that same server. If the traffic came to for database, but it is coming to one server, and it is hard for one server to uh, handle all three of the traffics. So we can just divide it and send the particular traffic to particular subnet using ports, so that one server do not have to handle all of these things. And firewall, we are having firewall between networks, which are called as network firewall. Network firewall acts like this, that allow traffic from port 80 and port 443, block everything else. This is like in firewalls. Firewall are nothing but rules that are written. So we are from internet to our web page, we only want those traffic which are have request to 80 or 443. Otherwise we do not want any traffic to our web app, so that traffic can be managed, and our web's app do not get overloaded and shut down due to the excessive traffic. Previously, normally hackers do this to shut down and web app by sending too much dummy traffic, so that our server will not be able to respond to it. It is also called denial of service error. Then to manage it, we are using this firewalls. This is a firewall. In every network there is a firewall, so there are certain conditions to have to be met to send request from web app to SQL, and SQL to payment, or web server to payment. And we are also placing some host firewall, so that our host has some rules to give out. Means if he asks this, then only give him the information, otherwise don't give that kind of stuff. This is whole firewall. After firewall, we learned about private servers. What are private servers? In private servers, these are all subnets. Okay, these are all subnets, and we are connected it to NAT. Why do we need to connect? So suppose this is private server, they can talk to each other, they are not connected to internet, so it is secured, and we have firewalls all between all of them, so that only when specific conditions are met they can talk to each other. So it will help our if even if one server can get hacked, it will not get all the information. So this is private server. But if we want to get information to the private server, we have to connect it to internet. Suppose an server, this server 10.0.2.0